Hey, what's up, everyone? This is the watch list video for, let me get this right. Tomorrow's Friday already. Wow, this week's flown by. Friday, September 23rd. We had another red day in the SPY. If you weren't there, I'm going to show you the intraday, which it opened right here. And if you look at it, just a sideways chop. It actually broke the highs, I think, or at least came up to the highs here, and then dumped in the last 10 minutes. But you ended up with a pretty darn narrow range on the SPY. Not a lot of action. Still impressed with the group finding stuff to trade. I hate to say impressed with the group and then start with one I gave, but I gave this one. I called SAVA as it was coming down as a fives buy zone play, which, as you guys know, right in the middle of these two lines, turned right there. Worst case stop, probably slightly below the red line, and it went nuts there. So that was huge. But I also want to give a hat tip. Whoops, let me turn that down. Ramesh gave FREY, which was on our watch list video, right? As it was curling up, let's see, 5-minute candles. Yeah, so back through the open, right? Just a red to green over 1570 with the high of day and yesterday's high. We call that stacked above. We call that stacked catalyst. It broke and went up actually pretty nicely from 1570 to, 1657. Again, neat little trade. RUM from the overnight watch list. Peter R in chat. Let's go to 5-minute candles on that one. So here's a few hat tips. Peter R in chat just called it, again, red to green through the open, which was right there, 1291. You got a pretty decent move to 1369. If you're a trader, you understand there's money in those moves, right? I love the entries because the entries all basically worked right away. What are we watching for tomorrow? AMPX is holding up pretty darn well, so I want to watch that one. RUM, I don't love that chart because there's a lot of bag holders from, the last few days, but it's holding up pretty well, so I'm going to put it on a chart. SLNG, quiet inside day, looking for a third day play there. YOSH seems to have found support around $1.50. It also kind of feels like nobody's watching it, but I had a nice headline that I thought yesterday, and today was, stayed inside of yesterday's range. So maybe this thing's ready to bounce. BIAF, just a recent IPO. They can't catch a bid. I'm looking for a snapback bounce. No trades in it today, but it goes back on watch for tomorrow. PLNT, which I believe is Planet Fitness. I should know that, right? PLNT is just almost straight off a cliff here, starting to accelerate to the downside. And it's not like I'm looking at great support in this area, but sometimes, as a day trader, I look for just oversold bounces can be one way to make money. And so this one is certainly oversold. If you get a market bounce, this might be a good snapback play. HTZ, Hertz, kind of getting a little bit of downside shape change and near support. Slightly, where did it hit back here? 1580-ish, and it's getting there kind of quickly, so I like that. Potential bounce, SEE, I almost said IC. Had a big rip back here, and you guys know one of my metrics. I go to 15-minute candles. These vertical lines are the opening bell, and I try to see the last time it broke its early high. So this was today's early high. There's yesterday, and when I say early, I mean morning high, right? The day before, the day before, the day before. You just keep going back. It didn't have an afternoon high of day. It hasn't had an afternoon high of day break since it hit 21 or 2099, I should say. It had a really nice rally. So, and it's down to the 20-day. So it's kind of an interesting setup for a potential bounce. You guys know me. My favorite idea would be a narrow range for a while and then a late day high of day break. You can get a little short covering bounce when that scenario occurs. BCAN, ugly daily, but on an intraday basis, had big volume here on this run from like 320 to 5. That's a huge percentage move. Then it came back down and settled sideways, so that's enough as a day trader for me to put that on watch, even though the daily's pretty bizarre looking. FDX is FedEx. I guess midday they came out and reported earnings. I guess they'd given a hint what was coming, and that's what caused this gap down here. But then I guess when they reported, it didn't sound as bad as, so there may be some shorts caught. Had a really nice run from 151 to almost 161 before kind of bleeding lower at the end of the day, but so did the market. So we're going to put FedEx, FDX on a chart. And then lastly, I'm going to throw this Pixie on watch. Nice volume today. and a pretty strong candle when you consider how weak the market was. Here's 5 minutes, had a really nice pop and had a strong close in a weak tape. So there you go. That's my watch list. We'll add gappers to the list. We'll work together in the pre-market to find some gappers, and there should be plenty to trade. Today was extremely boring, but still had a few nice trades. I'm done battling. I'll see you guys in the chat room.